Hi, welcome to yet another episode of Shehzad Scans, the one and only show on mynation.com that helps you buzz the haywire narrative of fake news by sifting facts from fiction. One of the biggest problems in social media and on the internet is that of fake news. In fact, if you see, the left-wing liberal media has been on and on about fake news being peddled by right-wing websites which have a shady orientation and a shady background. And that's perhaps legitimate for them to raise that issue. But what happens when the same group of people who accuse others of peddling fake news peddle the fake news themselves? Well, today we have a story about how fake news was being peddled by none less than the social media head of the Congress party, Divya Spandana, merely to put forward her propaganda on the Rafale deal. Now, this is the tweet that Divya Spandana put out on 24th of September 2018 on the Rafale deal. And I quote her, "The Rafale deal, technical HODs at Dassault Aviation claimed Reliance Defence was never the first choice. Decision to drop HAL was taken by CEO Eric Trappier at the last minute." And to substantiate her point, she puts a hashtag #ChorPM Chup Hai and adds a link. Now, this link is of a story that goes to a website called indiascoops.com. Now, this story on this particular website was quite an explosive story. You may have not heard of it in the mainstream media, but if it was indeed true, you would have, because the story claimed that two HODs, two heads, technical heads at Dassault Aviation actually red flagged the deal that Dassault was having with Reliance and said that they preferred HAL as their partner, not Reliance. Now, that's a big piece of explosive news that should have been covered by all organizations, but it wasn't, because it turns out that the story was actually not true. Now, they did not put out any other evidence to support the claim that was made in this story. They did not give out the names of the people, they did not put out any documents, but this story, after it had been shared by Divya Spandana, was shared by a multitude of official verified Twitter handles, including the official handle of the West Bengal Youth Congress. It was shared by Gujarat Congress leader Mr. Arjun Modwadia, and it was also shared by activist and lawyer Prashant Bhushan. In fact, this particular website, indiascoops.com, was also spreading another piece of fake news, and that was about the Prime Minister's fitness challenge video. The Prime Minister's fitness challenge video, which had gone viral, was alleged to have been made for 35 lakh rupees as per story on this particular website. And lo and behold, this story too was shared by a number of official verified Twitter handles, including Gaurav Pandey, who's been the former social media head of the Congress party, by Nikhil Wagle, a well-known journalist, and by Dr. Shashi Tharoor and other Twitter handles, which have always displayed an anti-Modi stand in their approach. Now, that particular story of 35 lakh rupees being spent was busted right here on Shehzad Scans on the first episode, and it was also busted by mynation.com, which put out an RTI that showed that the Prime Minister's office had spent a big fat zero on that particular video and not 35 lakh rupees as had been claimed. Now, this prompted me to dig into indiascoops.com. I mean, one must look into this website and its credentials if the social media head of the Congress party is sharing web links of such an important issue like Rafale deal. So let's take a look at what this entire website is actually about. This website, as the history shows, was created about 4 or 5 months ago. And if you visit its Facebook page, which is basically India Scoops, you go and see the history of it, you find that this name was changed on May 7th from India Chimes to India Scoops. And if you go further down into the history of this page, you find that in February, this page was actually called Arshi Khan TV and Bollywood News. Now, it's very interesting that a page that existed on Facebook before, which was probably called Arshi Khan TV and Bollywood News, as I've shown, and then it was changed to India Chimes in May, and then it was further changed to India Scoops. So originally, this Facebook page did not even deal with security matters or defense matters. It dealt with Arshi Khan's TV and Bollywood News. I felt that we should dig in a little more as to the kind of stories indiascoops.com is doing. I mean, for anybody to get that kind of a scoop on Rafale, clearly they must be doing some journalism of substance. Well, when I did dig in, they had these stories in the last few days. One story was about Avantika Gaokar, whose bikini pics had been leaked. I don't know who Avantika Gaokar is, but clearly her bikini pics being leaked is a matter as important as the Rafale deal. Then they had Anisha Singh Sharma, who claimed that Anup Jalota literally forced her to have oral sex 3 or 4 times. Now, I don't know how a news organization goes from covering Anup Jalota's affairs with Anisha Singh Sharma to the Rafale deal, but I guess the both are in the same domain because the both things take off. And then you had another story on Anup Jalota. Classical singer Razia Nair Rao accused Anup Jalota of hitting on her. So clearly India Scoops has 2 domains of expertise. One is the Rafale deal and the second is Mr. Anup Jalota and what he does with a whole range of women, or allegedly does with a whole range of women. Now that is some interesting journalism on the part of indiascoops.com. Clearly I was being sarcastic, but what I'm trying to get at is that if fake news is an issue, and if the fake news from the right or the center-right is an issue, then the fake news that is peddled by left-wing organizations or by parties like the Congress Party should also be an issue. It can't be selective. When you take on something like a postcard news, why don't you also speak out against those peddling stories of indiascoops.com? Mr. Prashant Bhushan and members of the Congress Party have been regularly sharing news of indiascoops.com. One clearly cannot understand why such a shady, sleazy website is something they prefer to share on their official and verified Twitter handles. Clearly the attempt here is to make the narrative haywire by peddling these fake stories on shady websites. So this was about the Mahagathbandhan of activists, lawyers, social media netas and others sharing fake news to put forward their political agenda. I really hope that at Shehzad Scans, we can help you bust fact from fiction, because that's the attempt we make even at mynation.com. With this, I'm signing off. Thank you for watching.